All right, so now that our ad is live, you'll start to generate leads within 2 to 3 days. And very important to understand that when somebody claims these offers, maybe 3 to 5, or maybe even up to 10% of people will actually take the initiative and call you or visit your website and book that infusion. But 90% of people won't. So it's very, very important for us to take that initiative. Don't assume they'll visit your website and book an appointment. So the next step of this process is calling them and converting them. When you call a lead, it's our opportunity to explore what their needs and interests are, so that we can help tailor a treatment or recommend an infusion for them. It also helps build rapport, establish trust with that potential customer, so that we can best convert them and offer them something that's going to actually help them, which most IV therapy centers aren't doing, right? They are just sitting there waiting for people to call and really not giving them much guidance, especially for these kind of leads that they're not as educated as other people that are on Google searching for your service. When somebody's on Google searching for your service, they've already done their research and they know they need and want IV infusions. But with these leads, they're probably interested, but they haven't done their research. So what we need to do on this call is bridge them from awareness and interested to actually coming in. So here's an example of a script you can use. I recommend calling your lead as soon as possible. As soon as the lead comes through, give them a call within a reasonable time. And this is a script, at least a template that you can use so that you can structure your call in a manner that is effective and that is reproducible between you and your staff. This is just a baseline template. Make it yours. But let's go through it real quick just so you get an idea of each step of this. So number one, we want to make sure they're serious. So we'll call them and say, hey Juan, this is Juan calling from IV Therapy Houston. I'm calling because you were interested and you entered your information on our ad. Does that sound good? So next, the very first step, we want to make sure they're serious. Yes, cool. You move forward. Great. I'd love to set an appointment. Before we do that, it would be okay if I ask you some questions. So now we're going to explore and see what symptoms they might be having. Now that we know they're serious, we want to find their pain points. If you don't mind me asking, what made you want to claim our offer? So this is where they might open up and say, well, I've been tired all the time. I drink coffee all the day. I don't have energy. I feel my immunity is low. These symptoms is going to help us make a recommendation. And then we empathize. I'm so sorry to hear that. Those are concerning symptoms. How long has this been going on? This question is kind of key because we're helping them realize wow, I've been dealing with this for, a year or two and I haven't done anything about it. And then we empathize again. We kind of dig in a little bit deeper. And we say, oh, wow, that must be really tough to be, tired all the time or getting sick all the time. How has that affected your everyday life? So we're digging in a little bit to see, and not only to help us make the sale, but for them to realize wow, you've been being sick all the time, that affects your productivity at work. Maybe you're missing days. So we're trying to conjure up those emotions. Once again, we empathize. I'm so sorry to hear that. And then we position ourselves kind of as the solution, the vehicle that's going to take them from where they are now to feeling better. So, hey, I completely understand. We actually had somebody recently come in that was going through the same thing, and we were able to help them feel better in no time. Great. So now that we kind of dug in to some of the emotions that they're experiencing, some of the symptoms, we go in for the close, which is to close that appointment. Here we position ourselves as the expert. We've sunk in, our heart and soul into getting people the best results. And then, yes, of course, based off your symptoms, this is what I recommend. We now make that recommendation now that we have some information, and we can now justify the infusion or the protocol that they need. So let's go ahead and book that book that appointment. A couple more things here. So let's go ahead and book you. That would be great. Let me go ahead and schedule you. And then here we put them on a hold. And here what we're trying to do is, the reason we put them on a hold is because we want them to feel like, oh wow, they have limited spots. We want to prevent them from canceling their appointment. We want to add that level of scarcity. So you put them on a hold, open your calendar, and then we come back and say, hey Juan, I'm back. So normally we're super busy during the week, but luckily I found an opening for you on Tuesday at 2 p.m. or Wednesday at 5 p.m. Which of those work for you? We want to lead by offering the times and taking control of that conversation and fitting them into our schedule. Of course, if that time doesn't work, then we can ask them, okay, what day or time does work for you? And then we book them. Typically, this infusion cost here at the end. So once we confirm, we really want to help prevent that cancellation. So here we do go into some numbers. Hey, so this infusion normally costs $225, but since you claimed our offer, you'll be getting it for X amount, as long as you keep your appointment. And then I always try to get not only that person that we're on the phone with to come in, but hey, maybe they have somebody that can come with them. So before we close, we say, hey, quick question. Do you have a spouse or relative that might benefit from an infusion as well? Great. Get them on the books as well. So the goal, right, is to get 1, 2, 3, maybe even their entire family. And we do that by asking good questions. If you call them and they do not answer, best practice is to leave a voicemail. And then ideally also send a text message. Ideally, you should be set up to where you can do, make the phone call, leave the voicemail, and then send a text message right after, which we'll cover here in one of the next videos. But here's a script that you can use. This is the scripts we use with the infusion centers we work with, but, make sure to make it your own, make it flow and work for you. Use your words, modify it, and make it yours so that you feel comfortable using it.